Yo, what's up you guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna take a look at the market from both a technical and a fundamental perspective. So without any further ado, let's jump straight into it. The first thing that we are going to look at is some news events that came through last week and how that's going to play into the new week there as well. First, we've got the core CPI. Now, if you do not know what the core CPI is, please go check out this video that I've done here explaining exactly what the CPI is, what it means. And then also we had the PPI. And if you also need some understanding in regards to what PPI is, you can check out this video here as well. Now, before we continue, let's go see what we have going on next week. Now, next week we've got the FMC meeting minutes. It's important. We get some more unemployment claims. We've got a bank holiday. Some people still gonna trade regardless. And then we got some PMI coming through for the manufacturing and the services side, and a revised of the University of Mexican consumer sentiment that we have for next week as well. Not a very busy week, but obviously some news to look forward to. Now we're going to start with an article from CNBC. It says here gold registers weekly gain on the Federal Reserve pause bets. The reason why the investors are expecting the Feds to pause the interest rates, that's because of the inflation that came through a lot lower than expected. It says your gold prices held steady on Friday but registered a weekly gain as the dollar and treasury yields weakened amid growing expectations that the US Federal Reserve is done with its monetary policy tightening. Now, if you've watched the video that I did on the CPI, that is exactly what I explained in regards to how this data ties into the index, and that is exactly what we saw. Although some highly anticipated skillful people said that it was not because of that, and then the stock market is so going to crash. But we're going to wait for that to happen, although I do not think it's going to happen any case. Next up, we've got the S&P 500. Says here it was ended Friday slightly higher. Major averages cruised to the third week gains. Says here the S&P was up on Friday and clinched the third straight winning week amid the red hot November rally. Said here the broader index added 0.13%. Listen properly, 0.13%. That to some of you is probably nothing. It says here the Dow Jones ended at 0.01% and the NASDAQ was up 0.08% there as well. Now we're going to continue expecting the correction in this market here as well. We're going to start with the index. This time we're going to start on the weekly and then just work the way all the way through to the daily. So if we start here on the weekly time frame, now what we can see over here is the market had broken below very important structure here at the moment. This market acted as support, resistance, support, again resistance. Market broke above that resistance, came to test it as support. Support did not hold. Now from here we obviously expect the market to continue lower, and then a pullback, then a potential continuation to the downside. And if we go down on the daily time frame, what do we have over here? Here from the daily perspective, we can obviously see that the market had now broken out of what's known as a consolidation range that it was stuck in, coming in there 1 2 3 4 almost for the whole of last week there as well. However, if this market is deemed to continue lower, I would probably say for now it would probably go just a little bit to the downside to go and hit this level, and then pull back again, and then from there I'll give you guys another update. As we know, structure was created over here. This level of support got broken, and once support gets broken, it then becomes resistance as well. Now this pullback is still expected, this long pullback is still expected, but the only way to confirm that is a break above this structure, which will make way for the market to move up there. So a short-term correction expected in the market going into next week for the index. Here we also have on the weekly, we have a massive W formation over here. Sorry, not a W formation on the weekly, but also a break of a very important structure. If you look left here, you can see the market printed resistance, broke above resistance, tested it as support, printed an equal low, then broke above resistance. All of that resistance is now turned support. A pullback is expected, and doing so will the market also print what's known as an inverted head and shoulders pattern. And this is considered a bullish pattern from a technical perspective. On the daily time frame, what do we have? Now, from a daily perspective, we have this massive impulse. After an impulse, you you expect a correction, and the best way to measure that correction is by taking your Fibonacci from the low to the high of the impulse. And if you look left, you can see this important structure as identified, starting up perfectly with the 0.50 Fibonacci level, which is more or less where we expect the market to pull back to, which is a 50% retracement of this massive impulse. A pullback is expected. I do expect the market to go slightly higher and then pull back from there as well. And then we've got the NASDAQ 100. Now the NASDAQ, this analysis still stands as it is. I still expect this pullback. Market hasn't moved much on Friday. And then we have the US30. Now for those of you that are in the Telegram group, I've sent this straight out on Friday. However, I still anticipate a very long move to the downside. Yeah, I think I still got about 3 of those positions open there as well, but this move to the downside is definitely expected over there. And then we have gold here as well. Now gold, you can see gold had continued higher. The market also broke above structure. Well, not broke above, basically closed below structure, but also broke above this level of resistance. Then once resistance gets broken, it then becomes support. Going into the new week, I would say, just be careful when you do trade gold, because we do have this structure here to the left also that the market could potentially just go and tap before continuing higher. Bullish continuation for stocks and precious metals is expected. Dollar is expected to weaken because the Fed's finally doing their job in terms of what it is that they were trying to achieve. That is it from my side. Thank you for your time, and as always, cheers for the years.